Hi, Scott Orlin with CINEMA-Magazine. Okay, we're all in need of a laugh, and our next guest is going to bring that to us in his new film called The Comeback Trail, and I'm here with Zach Braff. Zach, The Comeback Trail kind of showcases the insanity of making a movie. Obviously, you've been doing this career now for a couple of dozen years.
Yeah.
How close does it correlate to how crazy it is to actually make a movie?
You know, anytime I'm on a set, whether I'm an actor or director, you can't believe that it ever actually happens. There's so much chaos. There's so much money involved. There's so many egos. There's so much drama. The fact that I always say you never believe anything until the trucks are on the street and they're rolling the gear into the location. Obviously in this movie, we take it to the extreme, but no, it is. You create a tiny corporation, and then over the course of 25 to 50 or whatever days, a bunch of strangers come together and make something. And with all the egos and insecurities and things that can go wrong, there's plenty of drama to be had.
This movie has its DNA in a 1982 film. I think that it has a similar name. Did you want to go back and watch that, or did you kind of want to keep your kind of distance from it?
I didn't know. I think that was just a jumping off point. I didn't see the film. No, I think it was a very small, maybe it was a short film. I know it was only on 16 millimeter, I think. And George Gallo had seen it at a festival. And I think he didn't really love the movie so much as he loved the seed of the idea. You know, it's similar to The Producers in a sense of like, sabotaging the thing to make money, and then the thing turning out great. So I think he just loved the seed of it all, and so no, I didn't seek it out. I don't even know if my character per se was in that. I just couldn't believe that George wanted me for this. I mean, it was such a, and that's not false modesty. I was just like, this is like the second lead. I mean, the Tommy Lee Jones and Morgan Freeman are had huge parts in the film, but in terms of screen time, it's mostly me and Robert De Niro. And so I was just thrilled that he thought that I could have the talent to go head to head with De Niro.
So talk a little bit about that, because sometimes I always look at it as movies sometimes as a dance, it's a choreography. So how was your dance class with Robert De Niro? I mean, did you let him lead the whole time?
Well, some scenes my character had to lead. It's not a joke to say that I would be in my trailer giving myself a pep talk in the mirror, because I was thinking like, you can't be intimidated. You can't, this scene is not going to work. Your character's not intimidated. Your character's like, there's one scene in the hospital where I'm just berating him. I'm screaming at him. I actually slap him across the face. And I just remember thinking like, you cannot be afraid. You cannot act like this is Robert De Niro. The scene isn't going to work. So I would rile myself up. Fortunately for me, he's such a sweet man that he never ever made me feel less than. He never made me feel like I was anything other than his peer. And you know, often in those situations when it's a huge movie star and the onus is on them to make someone like me feel okay. And he's a very, very kind man.
He plays your uncle in the movie. And just taking a step back from the movie, do you have any interesting relatives you've ever worked with or interacted with?
My brother and I wrote a movie, Wish I Was Here. He was my co-writer on that film. I think that's probably the only, I did community theater with my dad when I was a little kid. That's about it, I think.
And you have another co-star in the movie we haven't talked about yet who has 4 hooves. How interesting is it to work with a horse?
These horses were so smart and so well trained, and you know, they never mess up. I mean, when occasionally they don't hit their mark, it's shocking because they always do such a good job. But you know, and I got to say, Tommy Lee Jones did all his horse riding. It's so impressive. I mean, he is such a skilled rider.
There's a terrific scene right at the beginning of the movie when you first go on set and you encounter this actor, Frank Pierce, and you get very excited. You want to get his autograph. Do you remember the first actor that ever really excited you when you were in the presence of?
Probably Alec Baldwin. I think my very first play was a production of Macbeth at the public theater in Manhattan, and he was playing Macbeth, and I was playing the two young parts in the play. I was fresh out of college. And he walked in the room and I was like, oh my God, it's Alec Baldwin. I think it's probably the first celebrity that I had ever met in person. And he sat down next to me and he said, hi, I'm Alec. I'm playing Macbeth. And he said, who are you playing? I said, oh, I'm playing young Seward and Fleance. And he goes, oh, so I kill you twice. Which I always thought was so funny. But yeah, I think it must have been Alec. Alec was probably the first celebrity I ever had an encounter with.
Now, when people watch this movie, I don't want to give too much away, but the concept is, like you said, like the producers, that if they realize if they can kill the lead actor, they can get the insurance money. So looking back on over the films that you've done, not that you want to kill anybody, but has there been a performer or somebody that you've worked with that really frustrated the hell out of you while you were
Yes, I'm not going to name any names, Scott, because I'm not that kind of guy. But yes, in particular, there was an actor I worked with who it really changed how I do things now. I do recon now. I mean, obviously not in a position where I'm acting with living legends like this, but on the normal actor scale, I'll do reconnaissance to find out what the person's reputation is, and if they're known for being a jerk or a diva or difficult, and that'll affect if I'm the director, if I hire them, or if I'm the actor, if I'll do it, because yeah, there's some bad apples out there, like there are in any industry. But yes, my brain instantly went to one person who drove me nuts.
And just a last question for you, taking the title of the movie with the comeback, audiences for whatever, and just in general, whether it's sports or entertainment or politics, they love the comeback. They love it that somebody's kind of been humbled in some capacity and then they get to resurrect them. Why do we feel that way?
That's a great question. But I agree with you that it's a fact. People, the town itself, whether it does it on purpose or not, will often build someone up, then crash them down, then build them back up again. I think it comes down to nostalgia. We fall in love with certain people. My brain goes to Travolta just because of Pulp Fiction. It was the ultimate example of everybody loved Travolta. We grew up on Travolta. We all had nostalgia and such a warm place in our heart for him. But no one, his career had fallen a little dormant, and then Tarantino so geniusly reinvented him, and it was so exciting because it was like, see, I also think of John Ritter, who was someone who was very important to me, and he was known for his broad comedy early in his career, and then he at a certain point started getting these beautiful indies where everyone saw like, oh my God, what a wonderful actor he is. So I don't know. I just think it comes down to nostalgia and having a warm place in our heart for people.
Well, thank you. I have a warm place in my heart for you because you're
so I have one for you too, Scott. Thank you.
The film is called The Comeback Trail. Zach Braff. This is Scott Orlin. Till next time.